dared to stare, unveiling the shadows of fear on fear files.
The group sat in the eerie glow of the dying fire, their faces etched with fear and determination. Alex's discovery of Jacob Fisher's grave had brought them one step closer to understanding the curse that haunted the Whispering Woods, but it had also intensified the sense of dread that permeated the air. "We need to figure out what happened to Jacob Fisher," Sarah said, breaking the heavy silence. "If we can understand his story, maybe we can find a way to free his spirit." "How do we do that?" Lisa asked, her voice shaky. "We don't have much to go on." "There must be something in the cabin," Alex said. "Some clue or piece of evidence that can help us. We need to search every inch of this place." The group spread out, methodically combing through the debris and dust. The cabin was filled with remnants of the past, old tools, broken furniture, and faded photographs. Each item seemed to whisper its own story, adding to the tapestry of the woodsman's tragic life. Sarah found an old journal tucked away in a drawer, its leather cover worn and brittle. She opened it carefully, the pages yellowed with age. "Look at this. It's Jacob Fisher's journal." "Does it say anything about the curse?" Mark asked, peering over her shoulder. Sarah scanned the pages, her brow furrowed in concentration. "It talks about his life in the woods, the struggles he faced. But there's something more. He writes about hearing whispers, seeing shadows. He thought he was losing his mind." Lisa shuddered. "Sounds familiar." "There's more," Sarah continued, flipping to the last few entries. "He mentions a woman named Eliza. She was a healer who lived in the village. Jacob believed she could help him understand the whispers." "What happened to her?" Alex asked, his curiosity piqued. Sarah's eyes widened as she read the final entry. "Jacob writes that he went to see Eliza, but she warned him about the forest. She told him that a great tragedy had bound a vengeful spirit to the land. She gave him a charm to protect himself. He never made it back to the village." "That must be the protection runes we saw," Alex said. "They didn't work." "Well, maybe they weren't enough," Sarah replied. "We need to find out more about Eliza and the tragedy she mentioned." As they pondered their next move, a sudden chill filled the room. The temperature dropped sharply, and the fire sputtered out, plunging them into darkness. The whispers rose around them, louder and more insistent than ever. "What's happening?" Lisa cried, her voice trembling. Alex grabbed his flashlight, the beam cutting through the darkness. "Stay close. We need to keep our heads." The whispers seemed to converge on them, a cacophony of voices that filled their minds with fear and confusion. Shadows danced on the walls, their shapes shifting and writhing as if alive. Sarah clutched the journal to her chest. "We need to perform a ritual, something to communicate with Jacob's spirit and find out what he wants." "Are you serious?" Mark asked, his eyes wide with disbelief. "You want to summon a ghost?" "It's the only way," Sarah insisted. "We need answers." Alex nodded. "Let's do it. We have to try something." Using the journal as a guide, Sarah outlined the ritual. They needed to create a circle of protection and light candles at the 4 cardinal points. The fire would be their conduit, a way to reach out to the spirit realm. They worked quickly, gathering the materials they needed and setting up the circle. The whispers grew louder, almost deafening, as if protesting their efforts. But the group pressed on, determined to see the ritual through. When everything was ready, they stood around the circle, holding hands. Sarah began to chant, her voice steady despite the fear that gripped her heart. The candles flickered, their flames dancing in response to her words. "Jacob Fisher, we seek your guidance," Sarah intoned. "Reveal to us the truth of your fate and the curse that binds this forest." For a moment, nothing happened. The air was thick with tension, the whispers a constant hum in their ears. Then slowly the flames began to rise, their light growing brighter and more intense. A figure materialized in the center of the circle, a translucent form that flickered like a ghostly apparition. It was Jacob Fisher, his face etched with sorrow and pain. "Who disturbs my rest?" the spirit intoned, his voice a haunting echo that seemed to come from all directions. "We seek to understand your story," Sarah said, her voice trembling. "We want to help you find peace." Jacob's eyes, hollow and filled with anguish, fixed on Sarah. "There is no peace for me. I am bound to this place, a prisoner of the past." "What happened to you?" Alex asked. "What is the tragedy that cursed this forest?" Jacob's form wavered, his expression darkening. "It was Eliza. She was more than a healer. She was a witch. When I sought her help, she saw my torment and offered to lift the curse. But in her attempt, she bound me to the forest instead. Her magic went wrong, and now I am trapped here, forever haunted by the whispers of those who came before." "Is there a way to break the curse?" Lisa asked, desperation in her voice. Jacob's gaze shifted to the journal in Sarah's hands. "There is a ritual, one that requires great sacrifice. You must find Eliza's grimoire, hidden in the heart of the forest. Only then can the spell be reversed." "How do we find it?" Mark asked, his fear palpable. "The forest will guide you," Jacob said. "But beware, it will test your resolve and seek to claim you as it did me. Trust in each other, and you may succeed where I failed." With those final words, Jacob's form dissolved into the air, leaving the group in stunned silence. The whispers had faded, replaced by an oppressive stillness that seemed to press in on them from all sides. "We have to do this," Alex said, his voice firm. "We need to find Eliza's grimoire and break the curse." "But how do we know where to start?" Lisa asked, her fear evident. "The journal mentioned a clearing deep in the forest," Sarah said. "That's our best bet. We'll head there first thing in the morning." As they settled in for the night, the weight of their task hung heavy over them. The fire flickered softly, casting long shadows on the walls, as if echoing the lingering spirits of the whispering woods. They knew their journey was fraught with danger and uncertainty, but they were united in their resolve to break the curse and escape the forest's malevolent grasp. Thank you for braving the unknown with us. Until next time, stay haunted.